Connected to iPhone.
continued for more than 10 years. Peking man was and still is a source of immense national pride. The first humans were apparently Chinese. No one could have predicted that just 18 years later, the remains would have vanished. They've been the cause of diplomatic scandal, the quarry of secret agents, a gift to conspiracy theorists. 60 years on, the Chinese are still in mourning for their ancestors that disappeared into thin air.
Right over it with whatever he was working.
You can see it in their eyes and feel it in their handshake. There are many law firms in Pennsylvania, but no one works harder for you. No one. They'll do more to get more for you by working smarter and never backing down. Unbreakable. Unshakable. Pond Lehocky. Unmistakable.
Right? Mm. Where did you go to school for art? Right here, that shit just came down like. Shit, my mama tell me I was an artist before I even went to school, period. Before preschool, before kindergarten, elementary. My mom said as soon as I can hold a fucking pen in my hand or a pencil, I was already doing this shit, yo. Just like, I wouldn't never stop that shit. If I can find something to write with, you know, all kids do that shit. Some kids grow out that shit, yo. My mom said I just never, once you start writing on shit, like you never stop writing on shit, yo. You just always color, draw, scribble, sketch, whatever. Shit like that was before school, you know what I'm saying? Before I was ever in any school of any kind. It just always been there, yo. I'm into graffiti. I fucking love it. I love that shit. Am I good at it? Hell no, I can't really do graffiti, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to a Banksy. And then my man Tim Akamura, he from Canada. But he don't really, it's crazy. I got one of his books downstairs, yo. I should grab it. But Tim, like, he's a portrait artist. You know what I'm saying? And you talk about graffiti, but like it's crazy how he do his portraits, yo. It's like he normally do bust up portraits, but the background is always like some city landscape or something, or just like some just like a solid background with graffiti, or sometimes he does like the whole background just like different graffiti tags and shit, yo. But it's the portrait is the main portion of the piece, but he still incorporates like tons of fucking graffiti into his art, yo. Ow, what up? The last few paintings I put on IG. Alright, one of them is in the living room. I just varnished that piece, so it's completely done, yo. It's finished, it's dry, it's varnished, the varnish is dry. I'm just waiting for the shipping fees. Once I get the shipping fees for it, I'll put that in the mail and send it on its way. I just finished that one right there with the black background. And I'm trying to think the last 3 paintings. I might have to actually look at my IG. That's what I'm using. I'm getting this picture from IG. Let me see what my last 3. All right, boom. 1, 2. Well, that one's a drawing, but still, all right. Yeah, that's what's up, yo. See, yo, this is Tim Akamura stuff right here, yo. Signed, personal autograph from Tim Akamura himself. You know what I'm saying? Because I love art like that. I still got the paper from that day when I went down to meet him. And so, like I say, he's a portrait artist. Obviously, he paints people. But his background is like, he always throws these crazy tags, graffiti. He's from Canada, but he lives in New York. You know what I'm saying? He's been in New York since he was in college. You know, so right out of high school, he left home, went to New York to the big city, and went to school for art and did his shit. And if you look up the top 100 oil painters in the world, not just in America or in Europe or wherever, the top 100 oil painters in the world, he's one of them. He's on the fucking list of the top 100. And they're about all of them that can make a living off of this shit the way that they do. You know, it's very, very few artists who live like a glamorous lifestyle just based on their art, yo, and get to travel and really do shit. Because Tim, he says there's a high school in Belize that their art teacher teaches a course on his art, and each semester one of the projects is for the students to pick their favorite Tim Akamura piece and recreate it and repaint it, just to study his style and to use his style and technique to enhance their own techniques. You know how many fucking artists get shit like that, who just get phone calls like, oh, Tim, we have a spot for October in Germany. Can you come do a show in Germany? Or can you come back to Canada and do a show here? Or can you come down to DC? Like, they had some shit when Obama was still in office for the White House. It was called Progressive Culture or something, and it was artists and artworks that push, you know, a progressive culture and a kind of a harmony in America. And there was like 20 hand-picked artists to have some of their more positive art displayed at the White House. He was one of them. You know what I'm saying? How in the fuck you get that fucking good where there's only 20 people they can choose in the whole fucking world? Whoever they want to choose, only 20 people, and you get selected to have your shit in prestigious events like that, yo. That's the kind of level I want to get to, yo. You know what I'm saying? My man, Fahamu Peku, he just did a show in fucking Paris. You know, he got all these pictures on Facebook and Instagram, just him and his daughter. And they just chilling in Paris at some big ass fucking gallery. The whole gallery full up with all his art, yo. It's fucking crazy. It's coming though. See, Tim, he throw that graffiti in his shit, yo. That shit be coming out crazy. Yeah, if y'all don't know these dudes, man, y'all need to get up on their work, yo. Yeah. But I went to Tim Akamura, I went to his studio. Just his prints, yo, just a copy of one of his paintings. That shit like $3,000, yo. I was like, yo. Yo, he can sell a print for $3,000, yo. Like, what the fuck, yo? I'd be happy to sell a print for $300. But that's why a lot of my shit don't sell. So this is next to the last painting I just finished. I said this is already on IG, getting a lot of attention, a lot of positive feedback. This is a project that was done for a young lady out of New York. And so, like I said, whenever I get the shipping fees, I'll throw this in the mail, and I won't actually have this piece anymore. It's technically not mine anymore, since it is already completed. But you can see that nice gloss finish on there. That's that good varnish. Yeah, who would ever thought that, you know, I should I should ever create a YouTube channel, you know? I wish somebody would have told me to do that a long time ago. I've been having issues with this other thing with PlayStation Network, yo. They've been shutting me off for this shit, yo. No lie, yo, they really been turning me off for showing this shit. But this is the last painting I have finished. It's not even signed yet. I was waiting on it to dry some more. It's good and dry now. Yeah, so I'm almost at 500 subscribers, yo. The 500th person will receive a free portrait drawing. So it's getting really close. You guys better go ahead and hop in there and subscribe to that channel. You might win that drawing. I'm working on a drawing right now, a little commission for a sister of a friend of mine. Yeah, like I said, it's something about them nipples, man. If I show them shits, I swear my fucking channel would turn off, yeah. And it's not even YouTube. I already had it out with YouTube. And I was like, yo, cause they got their guidelines and shit. And I was like, yo, I'm complying with your guidelines. This isn't graphic pornography. It's not, you know, extreme or gore or nothing like that. Yo, it's art and education. And so they was like, all right, but fucking PlayStation Network still has a problem with it. So as long as I'm going through PlayStation to access YouTube, PlayStation's like, nah, nigga, no nipples. I do have a website. I rarely use it anymore just because social media is everything now. So my website is travisprince.blogspot.com. It hasn't been updated in like over a year. So there's a bunch of older stuff up there, but you can place orders from there. Normally I would just tell people to go to my Facebook, my Instagram, just social media, yo. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Drop me a message in the inbox. All of my social media sites are Paintings by the Prince. Real easy to find me. You can just look through my catalog, my online catalogs up there, and say, hey, is this piece still available? Yeah, how much? Shipping and that, you know? Or if you want to submit a photograph for a commission where you can say, hey, can you paint this for me? How much would you charge me? It's real easy. If you're not on social media, you can, like I said, you can go to my website, or you can email me at travisprince81@yahoo. That's what's up. And this right here is one of the last paintings I did. I already got this one hanging on the wall because I love this painting. Yo, William. Yeah, but I flipped this one a lot. Like, this is not the background. Obviously, this in the photograph. Where is that photograph? So this was taken here. We were like outside the mall somewhere. So I took the picture. I did a study drawing of it in the sketch pad, which is study drawing of the photograph. So you do a little study, just getting prepared for it, getting used to the image, trying to figure out shape of the eyes and different things like that, and then the finished painting. And like I say, I exaggerated the background, obviously, to just enhance it a little bit. I thought this background was kind of bland. It didn't add to the photograph, actually, because she is the focal point of the piece, her in the book. And so the background was just like, I'll change it up. So I just imagined this out of my own head, just like some pink clouds. Some people say it looks like smoke. Some people say it looks like clouds. You know, blue sky with some abstract grass. But this is a very good book, Powernomics. A painting I feel is the most detailed. That's really hard to say, dude, because I don't know. I'm trying to think. I got some older shit that is really detailed, but they're smaller canvases. And then I got some larger canvases, where it's bigger details, but it's more details. I don't know, I think that's probably the one hanging on the wall right there, that self-portrait. It's probably one of my most detailed paintings for the simple fact that it has so many book titles on it. And once again, it's a simple detail. It's just little letters, but the fact of writing all these little letters out, it was very time consuming. That's why I do keep this one hanging up. This is probably one of my strongest pieces. So yeah, every book, even some of the books are half in shadow, so you can see the color change from one side of the letter to the other to signify that this side of the book has a shadow being casted on it. You can see the slight color change from the top of the books where the shadow on the shelf itself. So this, damn, let me see if I can prop it. All right, yeah. So this shelf is throwing a shadow underneath it to the top of the books. So you see what I'm saying, yo? That shit was crazy doing that shit, yo. Just to place the shadows right, to get all the fucking letters right, to fade some of the colors just right to make the books look real. It's just letter for letter, and then the reflections on the shelves. You know what I'm saying? Had to get those reflections right to make it look like the shelf is actually shiny. All the letters on the book. This is letter for letter handwritten. Every word that's really on the back of the book is handwritten out. If you get close enough, you can really read the back of that book. You know what I'm saying? All the way down to just the little checkers and the tie, the hair, the reflection on the glasses. Now it's a lot of details that spread out, but it's a large canvas. So like I said, I think this is probably one of my most detailed pieces. And then it pulls people in because I'm such a diverse reader. More than likely, if you've ever read a book like in your adult life, I know most people don't read, it's sad, but if you like to read, there's probably a book on here you know about or that you've read before, just because I read so much like different types of stuff from different writers. So yo, this painting, I worked on this painting for like 50 hours, probably about close to 60 hours, 50, 55 hours or something, man. I put a lot of time into this piece. You know what I'm saying? Because I like motherfucking Dean Koontz. They made a movie about Odd Thomas. If you ever seen Odd Thomas, that's based on the Dean Koontz novel. There's a series to the Odd Thomas. I think it's 3 books in there. Life Expectancy was a really good one. Dan Brown, obviously, that's the Da Vinci Code. He also wrote Angels and Demons, is another good one. Long Walk to Freedom, that Nelson Mandela. If you look close, that's the same book right there in that piece, which is another really highly detailed piece. Yeah, but Long Walk to Freedom, right there on my bookshelf, Long Walk to Freedom, got that Malcolm X. Malcolm X is the subject in another piece. I'm holding that book in another one. My email is travisprince81@yahoo. Travis Prince. Yeah, the IG, Paintings by the Prince. Alright, Alright, there goes some more Dan Brown, Deception Point. Really good book. Orson Scott Card. Man, Ender's Game. They made a movie about this book right here. It's only the first one in the series. There's 6 books in the Ender's Game series. So if you're into like sci-fi space drama, oh man, yo, this shit right here was so good. Yo, I love that Ender Game series. That was an awesome read. John Henrik Clarke, Melanin is the Key to Freedom. Oh man, this book right here, Horace Butler, When Rocks Cry Out. Excellent book. The Willie Lynch letters. Dune. Right there you can see the part 2 to Dune is Children of Dune. No. Part 2 is Dune Messiah. The ISIS papers. Once again, that's reflected in this piece. The ISIS papers. And these are some more of my really favorite sci-fi books. Brave New World, of course, Aldous Huxley. Very smallly written, but you can still read it. You know what I'm saying? That brushwork was crazy right there. Oh man, Aldous Huxley, George Orwell, Ray Bradbury. Come on, man, y'all don't know those guys? Oh man, they write some good ass fucking books, yo. No lie, yo. Especially Ray Bradbury. Bradbury. I read him. I was reading him in like junior high and high school before I read either one of these books. But these two are classics. But this one is also a classic that people don't know about. Yo, Fahrenheit 451. The whole title of that book is The Temperature at Which Books Burn. Yo, Fahrenheit 451, the temperature at which books burn. And it's this futuristic world where it's illegal to own books, yo. You cannot own books. You can't read, yo. That shit is fucking crazy. My homie Brandon Turbyville, one of my best friends, he writes, he's a journalist and an author. He writes a lot of good stuff, man. These are 2 of his books right here. Codex Alimentarius, The End of Health Freedom, 5 Cent Solutions he also wrote. Man, one of my favorite artists right there, Norman Rockwell. Norman Rockwell. You know, cause that shit, cause he the man. Don't ever forget 9/11 was an inside job, you know, because it was planned, orchestrated, funded, carried out, implemented by the shadow government in order to destabilize the Middle East and take out elected officials of other countries so the American populace can maintain control over oil reserves. Man, 9/11 was an inside job. Don't ever forget that shit. You know what I'm saying? Salvador Dali. Y'all don't know about Salvador Dali, man. David Icke. Icke kind of crazy, but some of his first stuff was really good for me. Don't ever forget your man Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? The founder of the Pan-African movement. If you don't know who Marcus Garvey is, I don't care who you are, you need to look him up because he's a major figure in American history. And of course, your boy Chancellor Williams, who gave us this great history book right here, The Destruction of Black Civilization. Great issues of a race from 4500 BC to 2000 AD. So this is the focal point for this piece right here, to let everybody know that, you know, you should know your history, read up on that shit, and get yourself grounded from a secure standpoint in history so you understand how you got to this present situation. And once you understand this present situation, you can manipulate things in order so that you can predict the future. Paintings by the Prince. Trust me, it's up there, yo. Paintings by the Prince. It's actually this photo right here. I mean, this painting right here is my cover photo. Paintings by the Prince. Art in the dark. Man, what the fuck is you doing up, man? It's too early in the morning, man. What the hell you doing up? Oh, crap. I got too much stuff in the way. Yeah, I just got this piece back from the gallery. I went and picked this up yesterday after the show was over. It didn't sell, obviously, because I still have it, but it did win. You see that? Words from the GOAT, Travis Prince, best of show. Yeah, got best of show though. You know, it's a little too expensive for people to buy it, but they had to give me the best of show. So when I went to pick it up, the art director, she was like, "Oh, I'll mail your check out to you soon." I'm like, "A check? For what?" She's like, "You won best of show." I was like, "Oh, I thought it was just, recognition." She was like, No, there's a prize that comes with it." I'm like, "Oh, that's what's up. Make sure that check in the mail, yo. Put that check in the mail." Best of show. I think it was like 20-something artists in there, 18 or 20-something artists. So, your boy came out on top because, I mean, they couldn't deny it. I mean, when you just look at it, it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna win. Is somebody gonna buy it? I can't afford that. Plus, it's black people. What? Look, right now, I'll give y'all a discount. I'll knock off that extra $500, and you can just give me 5 stacks for it, and it's yours. Words from the GOAT. You just give me 5 stacks, you can have it. I'll knock off that. The extra $500 was just for the gallery fee, because the gallery gonna take their percentage. You already know they gotta get their little cut off the top. So when I put it in the gallery, I tax a little extra onto it. Cause they gonna make their little bit of money. But yeah, give me 5 stacks. It's just a little, little $5 grand. Y'all got that. Ain't no biggie. For them details like that, man, look at the paint splatters. Look at the paint splatter. Oh my God, it's beautiful. No, he the GOAT. That's the GOAT right there, yo. The greatest of all time, Fahamu Peku. If y'all don't know who Fahamu Peku is, man, y'all gotta look this dude up, yo. The GOAT. And that's his painting. That's him. He painted that. And then me, I took a picture of all this shit. Then I painted him standing in front of his own painting with me talking to him. And now I'm talking about myself talking to him in front of his own painting that I actually painted. So I painted one of his paintings in my painting and painted him in front of his painting. He in the painting more than I'm in the painting. He in the painting twice. I'm just in the painting one time. Yeah, they had to top me off with that one. That was the first time it's ever been shown to you. The first time out the house, hanging on the wall, anywhere, and it won a prize. Like I said, it ain't sell. I know it's a high price, you know what I'm saying, but well, honestly, it ain't really no high price because I want $10,000 for the shit. You know what I'm saying? But I know as of how it stands now, my name ain't that popular, so broke it down. So the $5,000 already a discount. You know what I'm saying? Getting it for $5,000 is really a discount because I want $10,000 for this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I love this fucking piece. But somebody give me $5,000, that mean they really, 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 really want it, and they'll really take care of it. Because if not, I'll just keep this motherfucker forever, and I don't give a damn if nobody else don't ever want to buy that shit from me. The original, I'll sell you some prints for a couple $100 or some shit like that. But if you want this shit right here, oh man, you gotta kick out for that shit. But that's all my bigger art now. You know what I'm saying? All my shit. For shit like that, you want that painting? That's $4,500. You want that? And that's why I still got them, because ain't nobody gonna pay me what I want for it. It's all good, because honestly, it ain't about the money. I just like to paint. Now, if you want one of my paintings, I gotta make sure that you're gonna take care of this motherfucker. I gotta make sure you really, really want this thing, and you're gonna cherish it, and you're gonna tend to it, and you're gonna keep it nice. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna make sure everybody admire that shit. So I put a price tag on that shit where I know it ain't gonna go to some flunky who just like, I'm gonna buy this shit, stick it in a corner somewhere. Fuck that. Motherfuckers spend money on my art, they gonna hang that shit. It gonna be one of their prized possessions. Yeah, right. You want that piece, you gotta prove it. Prove it to me. Prove to me you really want it. Give me $5,000. Oh yeah, you really do want it, don't you? You can have it. Motherfucker, you really did give me $5,000. Yeah, you can have that. You deserve that. Now I know you're gonna take care of that shit. That ain't just some little piece of paper to you no more. You know what I'm saying? That shit really means something to you. Maintenance for oil paintings, they need to be dusted. Just like furniture and anything else, yo. That's why really prestigious galleries, man, their HVAC system and the inside of their buildings is so climate controlled because it's fucking ridiculous, yo. Just in a normal house, you know, you have to make sure your pieces don't accumulate too much dust. Make sure they're not in direct sunlight for long extended periods of time. Once again, you got to look like at galleries and museums. When you go to these places, they do have windows towards the front of the building, but normally the rest of the gallery doesn't have a lot of big open windows where, you know, big beams of light is coming in and hitting the walls. Now, sometimes there may be three-dimensional sculptures and things like that. That's fine to having light, you know what I'm saying? You got some marble carvings or something like that. But for oil paintings, you'll notice they're in nice little rooms without a lot of windows, but the interior lighting is nice. But that harsh, that sunlight, them UV rays, it will fade oil colors over time. So that's another thing is always, you know, put it somewhere that's not in direct sunlight. Keep your paintings dusted, and obviously when they're done, you should put a protective layer of varnish on it. Now there's 2 phases to your varnish. In the first 3 months after a painting is done, you should absolutely put a retouch varnish on it. Is a sealer and protector. But the retouch varnish, you can paint over it if you need to. It's like you can still touch it up a little bit, but a year after a painting is complete and the oil has completely hardened and cured to the canvas, you should apply a Dunmar varnish, which is a thicker, heavier varnish that really seals that top layer of oil paints and secures it to that canvas, and you can't really paint over that shit. And so those are just the things that I've learned so far. And there is no fade proofing. Not that I'm aware of, not unless they're coming out with some new kind of products, but that's just everything. Nothing is forever, bro. Nothing. And that's in anything you think about, yo. You can only preserve things, you know, and we have a lot of older art in museums from, you know, the French and Italian Renaissance. But once again, the oldest paints that are preserved are inside like caves and shit. You can go inside caves from 10,000 years ago where there's not a lot of sunlight and where shit doesn't touch it, and that's the only way to kind of like preserve shit. You know what I'm saying? But still, everything fades over time, you know. There is no real fade proofing. I would say use oils. They last longer than acrylic colors, and they're more fade resistant than acrylic colors or watercolors. Oils are just that shit that we've been using forever. It's just raw pigments and an oil-based medium and mix them shits together. You know, everything else is water soluble, and that kind of fades it anyway because it's more water. Oh yeah, definitely. This is art and education, you know? I'm thirsty as shit, yo. I need something to drink. Oh man. Some little snacks real quick.
Who is it?
It's me, Snakes. I got the stuff.
Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here.
All right, Johnny. But what about my money?
What money?
AC said you had some dough for me.
That and fast. How much do I owe you?
AC said 10%.
Too bad AC ain't in charge no more.
What do you mean?
He's upstairs taking a bath. He'll call you when he gets out. Hey, I tell you what I'm gonna give you, Snakes. I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
Right, Johnny, I'm sorry. I'm going.
1, 2, 10. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Keep the change. To the animal. Damn. 1, 2, 10. Home Alone. Home Alone.
I'm Colin Bird, inventor, former plumber, and all-round builder of things. Fans, flood my comment section with things they'd love to see me build. Team Bird!
Our ultimate dream is to be the first brother and sister duo in space.
I love being a school bus driver, and I'm looking at retiring this year.
I've heard that you want to go fast.
I always want to go fast.
I want to get you a bus, but make it a lot faster.
Why wouldn't you want to be doing 100 miles an hour with your butt on fire?
There's once a demolition site, now a BMX park.
This is like the greatest experience of my life.
This is gonna change the world! This is so
Panacho. Panacho. Don't make me get stupid, stupid. Don't make me get stupid. Don't make me get stupid. Don't make me get stupid. Motherfucker lose it, you know that I do it. I'm
Dogs.
William. My starting price for paintings is $400, but it really all depends on the photograph because no photographs are exactly the same. So I always say, just let me see the picture you want done first. But my starting price is $400, and my standard size canvas is 18 by 24 inches. This size right here, 18 by 24. So for a portrait of one person on that size canvas, it starts around $400. Normally it's a little bit more depending on, you know, articles of clothing that she has on. If she has on a solid colored shirt, like a blue shirt would be easier to paint than a polka dotted shirt or a plaid shirt or a pinstripe shirt or anything like that. You know, if her hair is pulled back in a ponytail, that would be easier to paint than if it was in, you know, if she had cornrows or braids or with flowers and doodads in it and, you know, bows and all that kind of stuff. Or if she's standing in front of just a wall or something, that'd be easier than, you know, her walking through the woods with trees and sticks and butterflies and everything like that. So yeah, it can be a painting of just one person, but where are they at? What are they doing? What are they wearing? And that really changes the price. So like I said, always just, you know, just let me see the photograph. Well, like I said, 18 by 24 is my standard size canvas. That's where I start at. Now, if you want to go smaller than an 18 by 24, I have smaller canvases, but my starting price doesn't drop. So you have to think about that. Even if you want a smaller canvas, my starting price is still $400. Really? Did I just do that? Oh, damn. What up, 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 what up? Y'all dudes is just watching me draw this picture. That's that pimpin' shit. What up, what up? Taylor about the fucking flex. Taylor about the fucking flex. I be trying, homie. You know what I'm saying? So this is the sister of a friend of mine's. So I did this drawing of one of my friends, and her sister was like, "Oh, I want one." All right. She said she'll pay me for it, so working on it. Ooh, draw this picture. I got you. No problem. No problemo. Taylor about the fucking flex. Yo, that's what's up. For a couple months, then you done seen a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Past couple months, I done finished like 3 projects, maybe. I know at least 2 in the past couple months. I'm surprised I maintain subscribers so much, yo, because people are sub to my channel when I be in one mood and shit, just be on some art shit. And then I be on some music shit, then I be on some political shit, and some people will leave my fucking channel. You're like, oh, this dude isn't what I thought he was. He's too controversial. What time is it? Man, it's 3:30 in the morning. I already been up for 2 hours. I don't know, man. I went to sleep like 8:30 or something, yo, and woke up at midnight. I woke up like, I thought it was morning time already. I was like, yo, it's like 12:30. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, I can't go back to sleep. I'm bored as fuck. What the fuck should I do? I was like, oh, That lady wanted me to draw her picture. So let me get up and work on that. Yes, I seen. Girls, you know what I'm saying? Damn, dude, I say I'm almost at that 500 mark too. I'm gonna have another giveaway though. I'm gonna start giving away drawings somehow. I gotta figure out different ways to give out drawings for prizes. And so I know this first one is gonna be whoever is number 500 subscribers to my channel. I'm gonna do a little drawing like this of them and give to them. So look out in the future, man. That there may be a way you can win a drawing, a portrait of yourself. Or maybe down the line you'll order a painting done, you know. I don't have any tobacco in there. In a wheelchair. Damn, how'd that happen? Bifida, spinal bifida. Damn. I don't think I've ever heard of that, yeah. I know I went to high school with a girl. She was in a wheelchair since she was a kid. And there was something wrong with her spine. She was cool as shit, yo. She used to work at the movie theater. At the ticket booth, right? And yo, like sometimes she'll let some of us sneak in, yo, like when we was in high school, there was a couple times. And it was so weird, like no lie, yo. No lie. I come from this little teeny ass town, yo. Our movie theater only shows 2 movies at a time. We only have 2 screens. And the shit is like $3, yo. It's only $3 to get into our movies. And we would still not even pay that, yo. Just be like, yo, just let me in, yo. I'm not paying. No, I think even back then it was like $2 for kids or some shit. Like $2 to go to the movies. And we wouldn't even pay that shit, yo. Like, yo, just let us in, man. I'm not giving you $2 to see motherfucking Friday the 13th or whatever the fuck. I can't even remember what the last movie I saw at that shit. That shit had to be like early 90s or some shit the last time I've been there. Damn, you were born that way? Damn. Man, in another 50 years maybe, most physical situations like that won't even be like a problem, man. Our technology is advancing so fast. Like, they're figuring out ways to reverse a lot of that stuff. I seen this one TED talk. It was this MIT professor. Yo, I think they shut MIT down. Did they shut MIT down? Anyway, it was this one MIT professor. I think he was like a rock climbing enthusiast or something like that. Went rock climbing or something and fell and fractured his spine and lost both his legs or something. But being like some mechanical engineer, this dude done made him some super bionic legs and shit, yo. He got like, and he brag about that shit. He was like, yo, my legs better than normal legs, yo. He's like, y'all just got regular people legs. You know what I'm saying? He's like, my legs are twice as strong. I'm twice as agile on my feet. But there's ways that all that is gonna not be a problem. Oh yeah, it's not a problem, bro. You can send me a friend request. I mean, body augmentation is gonna be like a trend. It's gonna be popular. The series Ghost in the Shell has been pushing that since the since the mid-90s. Like where people will want to have physical augmentations and things like your spinal condition won't even be a factor anymore. It's just like, that's no big deal. I can imagine, bro. You know what I'm saying? People like you already champions from the start, you know what I'm saying? Because you have to look at things differently, and you know, you gotta figure out how to make things work sometimes. Only champions can do that. Only champions can make shit work. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because I got to. Luke, what up, yo? Yeah, yo, thanks, man. I got some other projects I'm gonna start later today. Hopefully, it's early in the morning. Like I said, I went to bed early, so I woke up like 12:30 or something. I figured I'd come in the studio for a couple hours. I'll probably go back to sleep, get me a couple more hours of rest, get up, go to the gym, come back, and then I wanna finish filling in this canvas and probably start like another 1 or 2 canvases, and I can probably get this drawing finished today. If I get this drawing finished today, I can probably mail it out today. It's you know, you don't have to wait for drawings to dry and stuff like that. I can draw it up, put it in the envelope and send that out and tell her to send me the money for this via PayPal. This won't be too much longer. This is starting to look real nice. Oh, the screen went out on my tablet. Yo, Campbell, that's what's up. Luke, yeah, I sell my art. I just this painting right here is a commission. This right here is sold. You know, somebody had specifically had me do this just for them. She's like, yo, I want you to paint this picture of me. Alright. And so yeah, that's already, well, I ain't gonna tell you how much I charge her for it, but you can look at it and imagine it wasn't cheap. You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty big canvas. Yeah, that's a pretty nice size canvas. And then that painting right there, I just had that in a show last weekend. It won best of show, and so I got a little prize money for that. Nobody bought it obviously because it's still here, but it did win the top prize. I guess first place. I don't know. Best of show. I would imagine they don't want to call it first place anymore. But you know, I got the prize for best of show for that. So they said a check is in the mail coming to me for that piece. This right here is a commission. Someone is actually paying me to do this drawing for her. So yeah, it ain't my full-time job. I work a regular job, bro, just like everybody else, but I still get money off my art though. Like I know some dudes, like it's almost like now like the average person has to work overtime, you know, just to have extra money, or sometimes just to even make ends meet. You know, like I work in a factory, and every week somebody wants overtime. If it's a day here or a day there, and sometimes like so many people want overtime, there's not enough space for everybody. And it's like, oh, well, you had overtime last week, you should let me get this day this week. And it be like that sometimes. But for me, I don't have to work fucking overtime at my job. I go to my job, I do my regular hours throughout the work week, and when I'm done, I'm done. I come home, this is my overtime. I put my overtime in my fucking studio and sell art here and there, and that subsidizes my income where I can fucking chill. I own 2 vehicles, you know, I own everything in my house. I own that shit. I got motherfucking cell phones, laptops, everything like everybody else, but I don't have to work overtime to get shit. Fuck that. Yeah, I paint anything, yo. Kyrie fading in Celtics green. Who the fuck is Kyrie? What the? I don't understand that. But and some Celtics green. My standard size canvas is an 18 by 24 inch canvas, and my starting price is $400. But it all depends on the photograph. So I always say, let me see the photograph really, and then I'll give you a price. If you can agree on a price, and then I'll, you know, we'll come to an agreement on a basketball player. Okay. So, okay. Oh, the Celtics green. Okay, so he plays for the Celtics. I get it now. Okay, Kyrie fading in Celtics green. I'm thinking like just somebody like laying in some green grass or some shit. Like I don't know. My mind was way somewhere else. Like who the fuck fading away in some Celtics green? Like is this Celtics green? You want me to have somebody? That dude, to me, that dude is so corny, yo. I can't stand Mills. I can't listen to his shit, yo. Fuck you, Meek Mills. Oh, it don't matter, yo. I got a painting in Japan. I got a painting in Amsterdam. I got a painting in Holland. I got a painting in Alaska. It don't matter where you live, bro. Matter of fact, I sent a drawing to Belgium. Now I really do want you to order something so I can have a painting in Australia. I'm Mr. International. I'm Mr. International. That's what's up, Campbell. That's why I said, like, yeah. Just send me the ideas, and then we'll start talking. Like, how much you charge? How much you charge? Well, let me see what you're talking about first. Let's see what we're talking about. What kind of picture you want? How big do you want it? And then we'll talk numbers. Damn, man, there's some dank ass tobacco. Cause I just lit it and it went right out, yo. This tobacco is dank. I don't watch no sports, bro. You see anything in here sports related at all? Nothing. Not even my art. My art don't even reflect no kind of sports. Period. I'm the complete opposite of sports. Education. Education. Education, 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 education. I ain't got shit to do with sports. I don't know who Kyrie is. I know he played for the Celtics now. I just learned that. Kyrie played for the Celtics. Mac Main, what's up, bruh? But yeah, I don't do the sports shits. I got like, it's weird because they call them baseball caps, but sometimes it's football teams. So is it a football cap if it's a football team on it?
Art
or is it still a baseball cap even though it has a football team on it?
So into a show or an album, you have to just.
But anyway, I do have some hats.
That's kind of the fun part of it.
With team logos on it. And I hate wearing them sometimes because people are like, oh, You fuck with the Falcons?
We're the same school,
No, bro.
Belmont University in
You see this
Nashville.
hat?
I was writing these
It's
songs
gray
at the
and
time,
red.
just kind of
You see my
playing
sneakers?
baseball, and my roommate
They're
was
gray and
really
red.
into music,
That's the
so
only
I said,
reason I
"Yeah,
have this hat on."
I plays banjo around campus, and he happened to know Nate.
Oh
And
my
I knew
gosh.
Nate because
Skip that shit. But yeah, it's weird. I don't.
Early this morning at Kennedy Airport, the body of Biggie Smalls was returned to New York from Los Angeles, where he had been shot and killed over the weekend in the latest round of violence that has plagued and sadly come to symbolize a style of music that has captivated millions of Americans,
That gangster
black
rap.
and white.
Okay, what y'all think about that that Los Angeles shooting? I mean that Vegas shooting, yo. Not the Falcons. I got 2 Falcons hats just because I like the logo. I just like that little bird shit. I do like how it looks. Does it really mean anything to me? Do I know the quarterback of the Falcons? No. Do I know the name of the stadium they play in? Nope. Do I know who their coach is? No. I don't know. I just like that shit. I just like that. I got this white hat with a gray brim on it. And I keep forgetting the name of the fucking team. But everybody be like, yo, that's my team. Da, 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 da. I'm like, I got some white sneakers on and I got a white hat on, bro. That's all it is. That sport is senseless. I'm gonna get this ball, right? I'm gonna take this ball and I'm gonna run down that way. And they gonna try to stop me. Then if they get the ball, they gonna try to run back this way. And whoever can make it all the way to the end, get some points. Whoever got the most points win. We're gonna run back and forth. Come on, guys. Run back and forth. Basketball. Run back and forth. Tennis. Let's hit this ball. Back and forth. You know what a crazy ass sport is? Motherfucker, NASCAR. Yo, we in an oil crisis. Gas prices sky high as shit. And these motherfuckers get in cars and go around a track real fast. Let's burn up this gas, guys. Come on. What are you doing? I'm just driving a circle. Oh my god. That shit is fucking hilarious, golf. What the fuck is golf? Oh, but people love watching these sports, man. Oh my god, people love sports, yo. Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods hit that golf ball, he's like, yeah. Who the fuck cares, yo? Sports is just, I ain't been back since June, yo. Yeah, after that 1996 mass shooting you guys had over there in Australia, I watched a documentary on that shit. Motherfucker killed an ass of people, yo. And ever since then, y'all lay the guns down. But it's just weird, man. That's just, man, white people, man. Y'all crazy, man. Everybody always want to talk about, oh, Black Lives Matter and all the gangs in Chicago and California and all that shit, man. Man, gang members, they shoot like 2 or 3 of each other. And that's because they already beefing. They already got beef. They stuck in this little rat fucking box in this city. They trying to get a little territory to sell their little drugs. And they might kill 1 or 2 of each other. That's how the game goes. Man, when white dudes go crazy, man, y'all be killing 10, 20, 50, 100 people. You don't even know these. You ain't even got no beef with these motherfuckers. They innocent people. These people ain't even trying to step on your territory and sell drugs in your neighborhood or nothing. Y'all get crazy. Y'all go, and then y'all go to like random places. Y'all go to the movie theater. Motherfuckers just trying to watch the new Batman movie. Y'all go up and they, in the movie theater. Come on, man. Go to the goddamn, elementary schools, high schools, universities. Just shoot that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Peaceful protest. Just take your car, driving through the fucking crowd. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers at a country music concert. How more American can you be? Huh? In Las Vegas, the city of motherfucking sin and gambling, everybody just trying to listen to some country music. Oh, man. This motherfucker shoot that shit up. Hey, y'all need to cut that shit out, man. Word up, man. What? Yeah. All lives matter. Oh yeah. All lives do matter. All lives matter. But I say it like this: if that was a rap concert, if that was a motherfucking a Meek Mill's concert, and him and Rick Ross was on stage, and some black dude did the exact same thing. Oh, black on black violence. This is what's wrong with the black community, and this is the type of people that this community produces, and they're super predators, and that's why even though they're only 13% of the population, they make up for 45% of the incarceration rate, and they'll go through all these fucking statistics why that happened, because it was a black dude killing black people. But a white dude shooting up a motherfucking a country music concert, you know, the entire white community doesn't get blamed for that. It doesn't say, this is what's wrong with white people, and these are the kind of, you know, crazy, sick, individual, psychotic people that your community produces, and you guys need to get your shit together and re-educate your kids so that we're not creating psychopaths that go out there and go inside churches and mosques and shoot 9 people with handguns, but it doesn't, you know, the same scenario doesn't play out that way. And I find it oddly strange that, you know, any black and brown violence is due to the entire culture of black and brown people. But any white violence is not due to the culture of white people. It's just a lone wolf, a antisocial individual, you know, or some whatever crazy shit they want to put on it. It's weird as shit how they portray these stories to the public, you know? Yeah, I love all people, no matter race, too. My girlfriend is white. My girlfriend is white, you know? My favorite uncle is white. My aunt married a white man. They've been married for 27 years. They got 2 kids. One of them's out of college now, or about to, I think this is her last year in college. And their other son is the 2nd year in college. Yeah, probably my favorite uncle, yo. Motherfucker did 27 years between the Air Force and Army, retired Army sniper, like Ranger sniper or some shit, yo. Crazy ass, badass motherfucker, yo. Motherfucker taught me how to fly fish, camp, all kind of shit, yo. So, nah, I'm not racist. I understand what racism is. I understand what systemic racism is. I understand what motherfucking white supremacy is. And I understand what white privilege is. And just because I understand all those different institutions doesn't mean I hate white people. I know it's bigger than an individual white person. I just can't say Sally and John are racist and that fucks my entire life up. Oh my God, my neighbors don't like me because I'm black. Oh, it's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? This is it's a global system that has agendas and implements strategies that really affect people of color globally, not just here in America. I normally speak on things in America because this is where I was born, I grew up, and this is the only country that I have lived in. So I study more about American history, American economy, American sociology, psychology, and the education system, our government, our banking system. So those are the things that I focus on. But when you look at the scale when you look at the issues on a global scale, it's still a global issue. White supremacy affects countries globally, you know. And so just because I understand a problem and I like talking about the problem, it's not going to make the problem go away. It doesn't make what I say any less true or valid, and it doesn't make me racist. You can follow me on PlayStation Network at Trap House Entertainment, or you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and DeviantArt at Paintings by the Prince. My last name is actually Prince, and I make paintings. Like lots of paintings, plural with an S. So it's just kind of simple, you know. Paintings by the Prince. Paintings by the Prince. Facebook, Instagram, all the social network things, you can find me up there under the same title. I do that because it's easy for me to remember. On this other site, my name is Prince, and on this site, my name is Jack of all trades with the paintbrush, and on this site, my name is Super Duper Artist Fly Guy. Man, fuck all that shit, yo. Paintings by the Prince. It's everywhere. Came a long way since the 60s. Yeah, but look what kind of struggle it was in the 60s, and at the same time, the brainwashing techniques and the propaganda have increased. So the more things seem to get better, the more they actually stay the same. You know what I'm saying? Because all right, what happened in the 60s, yo? There was a change for real, a movement for real change, right? And so everybody say JFK was this great president, this and that. JFK ain't wanted to pass that voters' right bill. He did not want to fucking pass that shit. And he died and he didn't sign that shit. JFK didn't sign that shit. Motherfucking, what's his face, signed that shit. And goddamn, and even what did that change, man? The Voters' Right Act of 65, that shit gotta get ratified every 10 years or 15 years. They gotta vote on it again. Do you even know that? Like, the right for black people to vote, for one, think about this. Black people couldn't vote, right? In 65. So it was only white people who decided, oh yeah, we're gonna let the niggers vote. You know, we didn't even have a vote in saying if we can vote or not. And then, on top of that, it has to get re-voted and reinstated every so often. And then what if this is the big thing I think about Trump, yo, like what if Trump just says, oh, well, we're not gonna reinstate the Voters Act this time. And then what can happen? Because anybody can do that shit. Any president can just try to veto that shit. But there's still certain things on the books that let us know that shit hasn't changed. The 13th Amendment. I've been saying that. Like, there's all these documentaries out now about it, but I was saying that shit 10 years ago, 11 years ago when I first really read that shit. Like, wait a minute. Holy shit. And so you read the 13th Amendment, and then you look at the war on drugs, and then you look at the incarceration rate, and then you look at policing tactics throughout inner cities and highly minority populated areas, and then you see how all of this correlates to each other, yo. And it's not hard to put the pieces together because some people just want to focus on 1, 2, 3 pieces of the puzzle. The puzzle got a fucking 1,000 pieces to it. Put the whole fucking shit together. And it takes a while, but you know what you do? You know how you put the puzzle together? You find all the edges. You pick through the fucking pile, you find all the edge pieces, and you build a fucking frame first. And once you can see that fucking frame, that picture starts to come into view and it's easier to put the pieces in. Motherfuckers want to look at 2 pieces in the center and say, see, this is your fucking problem, and that's why it's not fitting together. And that's not it. And so, yeah, there has been some progress since the 60s. But on a large scale, the power, the ownership of property, corporations, the ownership and control over the distributions of natural raw resources still remains in the hands of the 1%, and they get more and more of it every fucking decade. And that has not changed, and black people globally still remain at the bottom of the social and economic scale in almost every fucking country. That is the problem. And I talk about these issues all the time, and people act like it's so oblivious to them. But once again, just going back to that Vegas incident and how the story is always played out. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we're not gonna call him a terrorist until we figure out his MO. Like, what the fuck? If the shoe was on the other foot, yo, it would have been like the most hateful and grotesque sayings and so much blame and finger pointing at the entire community. Let a fucking a Middle Eastern Arab do anything, and see, this is why we enforce that immigration ban, because these Islamic extremists are coming over here and setting up fucking training camps, and it don't even be like that, yo. Y'all be hyping up all that shit all the fucking time, yo. But then when a white dude do it and kill fucking 58 people, injure 200 over 200 people, and it's like, oh, let the facts come out. We don't really know what his true motive was. He doesn't have any ties with any fucking groups or anything like that. But ISIS claimed responsibility for it. Like, ISIS claimed responsibility for that shit? Come on, man. I don't know. That's why, and I hate even watching the mainstream news now, because it's like, you know they're gonna fucking lie, yo. You know they're gonna lie. So you gotta find these alternative sites that catch, because everybody is a news anchor now. If you got a fucking phone and you can catch that shit, yo, everybody's a news anchor. And that's what they hate about this new internet, because everybody can see what's going on, yo. And so there was this one driver, like a cab driver or something. I know everybody probably already saw the video, but the cab driver, she's driving downtown by this shit, and you can clearly hear gunshots coming from 2 different directions. Like, what the fuck? And then there's reports, like there's one news report saying that there was a shooting of some other people in a different hotel, and a lot of people were posting that shit, saying there was like shootings at 3 hotels. And then all of a sudden the news started reporting that shit, and they just focused on that one concert shit. And it was like, I don't know, it's hard to believe what goes on with that shit, yo. Yeah, exactly, because they got control. But who controls the media? Do you think in any major network television station's boardroom, when you imagine this, Fox News, okay? Imagine Fox News. Now imagine Fox News boardroom, all their executive producers, presidents, vice presidents, CEOs, and everybody in that room trying to decide how they're going to manage the next year for the show, right? Can you imagine like a bunch of black dudes up in there, or some Spanish people, or some Italians, or some Mexicans sitting on that board? Or what kind of people do you see? Like a bunch of whites and some Jews, right? And those are the people that fucking control the media. And they're gonna display an image that is best for them. You know? And that's when you look at the control system everywhere, it's set up like that. And it is who controls shit like this. You know? Once again, does it make an individual person bad? No, but there is a system in play where it is real people. Real people making real decisions on what information to show you, what is the new curriculum for your children to learn throughout their educational careers, you know, what is appropriate chemicals to go into your foods, and make decisions for all of us in those ways. And who are these people, who are these groups and these institutions that decide this shit, yo? You know what I'm saying? And so you start figuring out these roundtable groups like the Bilderbergers, the fucking the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations, and you realize like these motherfuckers is just playing God, yo. The IMF and all these other motherfuckers, man, they just want to control every goddamn thing. Especially to control the images that people receive and perceive.
So, as far as I'm concerned, that whole thing in the Persian Gulf was nothing more than a big prick-waving dick fight. In this particular case, Saddam Hussein had questioned the size of George Bush's dick. And George Bush had been called a wimp for so long. Wimp rhymes with limp. George has been called a wimp for so long that he has to act out his manhood fantasies by sending other people's children to die. Even the name Bush. Even the name Bush is related to the genitals without being the genitals. A bush is a sort of passive secondary sex characteristic. Now, if this man's name had been George Boner, well, he might have felt a little bit better about himself and we wouldn't have had any trouble over there in the first place. This whole country has a manhood problem. Big manhood problem in the USA. You can tell from the language we use. Language always gives you away. What did we do wrong in Vietnam? We pulled out. Not a very manly thing to do, is it? When you're fucking people, you gotta stay in there and fuck them good. Fuck them all the way. Fuck them till the end. Fuck them to death. Fuck them to death. Fuck them to death. Stay in there and keep fucking them until they're all dead. We left a few women and children alive in Vietnam, and we haven't felt good about ourselves since. That's why in the Persian Gulf, George Bush had to say, this will not be another Vietnam. He actually used these words. He said, this time we're going all the way. Imagine an American president using the sexual slang of a 13-year-old to describe his foreign policy. If you want to know what happened in the Persian Gulf...
Yo, I just thought about this, yo. Trump better be lucky George Carlin is dead, yo. I swear to God, Trump is so lucky George Carlin is dead, yo. Damn.
Well, just remember the names of the two men who were running that war. Dick Cheney and Colin Powell. Somebody got fucked in the ass. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, tell you what. Now, to balance the scale, I'd like to talk about some things that bring us together. Things that point out our similarities instead of our differences. Because that's all you ever hear about in this country is our differences. That's all the media and the politicians are ever talking about, the things that separate us, things that make us different from one another. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing, happens to work. You know, anything different, that's what they're going to talk about. Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything you can do, keep us fighting.
And see, even George Carlin talks about that hierarchy at the top, and that's white supremacy. Anytime everybody talks about they or them or whoever, that's the system. It's a system that's in play. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows it. Some people just won't call it by its name.
They, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing, happens to work. You know, anything different, that's what they're going to talk about. Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything you can do, keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank. You know how I describe the economic and social classes in this country?
Yeah, well, Carlin was the man, yo.
There is nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine. The people are... Well, in order to continue on...
Where's the other skit at? Was this it?
You know, say one thing, do something different. And of course the country is founded on... It's the old American double standard. You know, say one thing, do something different. And of course the country is founded on the double standard. That's our history. We were founded on a very basic double standard. This country was founded by slave owners who wanted to be free. Am I right? A group of slave owners who wanted to be free. So they killed a lot of white English people in order to continue owning their black African people so they could wipe out the rest of the red Indian people and move west and steal the rest of the land from the brown Mexican people, giving them a place to take off and drop their nuclear weapons on the yellow Japanese people. You know what the motto? You know what the motto of this country ought to be? You give us a color, we'll wipe it out. You got it. So anyway, about 80 years after the Constitution is ratified, 80 years later, the slaves are freed. Not so you'd really notice it, of course. Just sort of on paper. And that was, of course, during the Civil War. Now, there's another phrase I dearly love. That is a true oxymoron if I've ever heard one. Civil War. Do you think any country could really have a civil war? Say, pardon me. I'm awfully sorry. I'm awfully sorry. Now, of course, the Civil War has been over for about 120 years, but not so you'd really notice it. Because we still have these people called Civil War buffs. People who thought it was a really keen war. And they study the battles carefully, and they try to improve on the strategies and the tactics to increase the body count, in case we have to go through it again sometime. In fact, some of these people actually get dressed up in uniform once a year and go out and refight these battles. You know what I say? Use live ammunition, assholes, would you please? You might just raise the intelligence level of the American gene pool. But what do you expect? Hey, come on, this is a warlike country. We come from that Northern European, basically the Northern European genes, the blue eyes, those blue eyes. Boy, everybody in the world learned real quick, didn't they? When those blue eyes sail out of the north, you better nail everything down, motherfucker. Nail it down, strap it down, or they'll grab it. If they can't take it home, they'll burn it. If they can't burn it, they'll fuck it. That's what happened to us. And it's a warlike country. Come on. I mean, forget foreign policy. Even the domestic rhetoric is warlike. Everything about our domestic policy invokes the thought of war. We don't like something in this country, we declare war on it. The war on poverty, the war on drugs, the war on crime, the war on AIDS, the war on cancer. We got the only national anthem that mentions fucking rockets and bombs in the goddamn thing. You know what I mean? All right.
Yo, Carly kept it too real, yo.
If you're one of the 55 million Americans who drive a personal car for work and don't track your business miles,
So I say there are little things you can do to help keep other people on their toes. Did you ever try backing out of a drive-in bank? That's the kind of thing I mean. Or just walk up to someone in the street and say, "Pardon me, I have nothing to say." Someone asks you what time it is? You say, "Well, it's either 6:15 or Mickey has a hard on." Now, many of these suggestions which I'm offering are intended for use on retail clerks. Because retail clerks seem to need special help. Did you ever go into a store and realize immediately that the clerk is...
I'm an interesting guy. I always hope that no matter how small the original problem is, it's going to grow into bigger and bigger proportions that get completely out of control, and I'll give you a concrete example. Let's say a water main breaks in downtown Los Angeles and it floods an electrical substation, knocking out all the traffic lights and tying up the entire city, and emergency vehicles can't get through. And at the same time, one of those month-long global warming heat waves comes along, but there's no air conditioning, there's no water for sanitation, so cholera, smallpox, and dysentery break out, and thousands of people start dying in the streets. But before they die, parasites eat their brains, and they go completely fucking crazy, and they storm the hospital, but the hospital can't handle all the casualties, so these people rape all the nurses and set the hospital on fire. And the flames drive them even crazier, so they start stabbing social workers and garbage men. And a big wind comes along and the entire city goes up in flames, and the people who are still healthy, they get mad at the sick people and they start crucifying them, nailing them to crosses, trying on their underwear, shit like that. Then everybody smokes crack in PCP and they march on City Hall where they burn the mayor at the stake, strangle his wife, and take turns sodomizing the statue of Larry Flint. And at this point, it looks like pretty soon things are going to start to get out of control. So everybody panics and tries to leave the city at the same time. And they trample each other to death in the streets by the thousands, and wild dogs eat their corpses. And the wild dogs chase the rest of the people down the highway, and one by one the dogs pick off the old fucks and the slow people because they're in the fast lane where they don't belong. Get the fuck out of the fast lane if you're an old fuck, if you're a slow fuck. Get over on the right. Get over on the right. And the lucky ones, the lucky people who manage to make it all the way outside of town, they discover when they get there that big sparks from the city have lit the suburbs on fire, and the suburbs burn uncontrollably, and thousands of identical homes have identical fires with identical smoke, killing all the identical soccer moms and their identical kids named Jason and Jennifer. And now the fire spreads to the farmlands, and the farmlands burn intensely at 425 degrees, creating millions of baked potatoes. And as the farmlands burn, thousands of barns and farmhouses begin to explode from all the hidden methamphetamine labs. And the meth chemicals run downhill into the rivers and streams where wild animals drink the water and get completely geeked on speed. So bears and wolves, amped up on crank, start roaming the countryside looking for people to eat, even though they're not really hungry. And the fire spreads to the forest, and the forest burns furiously, and hundreds of elves and trolls and fairies come running out of the woods screaming, "Bambi is dead! Bambi is dead!" And he is. Finally, that fucking little cunt, Bambi, is dead. Dead. Now hundreds of regional fires come together into one huge interstate inferno, and all 12 of the western United States are burning out of control, except Utah, where the Mormons don't allow fires. And the fire spreads across the Great Plains, toasting the wheat, cooking the cattle, and producing hamburgers, actually. Then it leaps the Mississippi and races through the South, blowing up stills, interrupting lynchings, and killing millions of inbred people. And then it turns northeast and it heads for Washington, D.C., where George Bush can't decide if it's an emergency or not. He can't decide this. He doesn't know. It's hard work. You know? No. Yeah. He can't decide because Dick Cheney is in prison. So, instead, he takes a nap. He puts his empty, fucking brainless head down on the little pillow his mother gave him at Christmas time, and he takes a fucking nap. So the fire moves to Philadelphia, but it's a weekend, and Philadelphia's closed on the weekend. So the fire moves to New York City, and the people in New York tell the fire to go fuck itself. Go fuck itself. And it does. Yeah. And it does. So instead, it burns down Long Island and Connecticut, killing all the rich white assholes and completely destroying their evil faggoty golf courses.
The evil faggoty golf courses. Yeah.
And while all this is going on, Canada burns to the ground, but nobody notices. And now the entire North American continent is on fire, producing a huge thermal updraft and creating an incendiary cyclonic macro system that forms a hemispheric megastorm, breaking down the molecular structure of the atmosphere and actually changing the laws of nature. Fire and water combine. Burning clouds of flaming rain fall upward. Gamma rays and solar winds ignite the ionosphere, creating huge clouds of ionized plasma. Bolts of lightning 20 million miles long begin shooting out of the North Pole, and the sky fills up with green shit. And then suddenly, the entire fabric of space-time splits in two. A huge crack in the universe opens, and all the dead people from the past begin falling through. Babe Ruth, Groucho Marx, Davy Crockett, Tiny Tim, Porky Pig, Hitler, Janis Joplin, Alan Ludden, my Uncle Dave, your Uncle Dave. Everybody's Uncle Dave. An endless stream of dead Uncle Daves falling through the crack. And all the dead Uncle Daves gather around a heavenly kitchen table. They light up cigarettes and they begin to talk. They talk about how they never got a break, how their parents didn't love them and their children were ungrateful. They talk about how the government screwed them out of money and they just missed out on a big job. They say the Jews own everything and the blacks get special treatment. And all the hatred and bitterness drips out of these people and forms a big pool of liquid hate. And the pool of liquid hate begins to spin. Round and round it spins, faster and faster. And the faster it spins, the bigger it gets. Faster and faster, bigger and bigger, until the whirling pool of hate is bigger than the entire universe. And then suddenly it explodes into trillions of tiny stars. And every star has a trillion planets. And every planet has a trillion Uncle Daves. And all the Uncle Daves have good jobs, perfect eyesight, and shoes that fit. They have great sex lives and free health care. They understand the internet. Their kids think they're cool. And they all love their neighbors. And every week, without fail, Uncle Dave wins the lottery. Forever and ever, till the end of time, every single Uncle Dave has a winning ticket. And Uncle Dave is finally happy. Now do you see why I like it when nature gets even with humans? Thanks for coming in here tonight.
Hey, Carly crazy as shit.
Thank you. See you later.
And all Uncle Dave sat around and light a cigarette and talked about how they got fucked out of a good job. It drips down into a swirling pool of hate. Yo, what George Carlin say about golf, yo? Yeah, but who are the Illuminati, man?
I've got you.
You talking about the Bavarian Order of the Illuminati, founded in 1776, which is coincidentally the same year that America declared its independence from the British Crown? Seems strange. I might need to investigate this stuff.
Just a place for low-cost housing. I have solved this problem. I know where we can build housing for the homeless. Golf courses. Perfect. Golf courses. Just what we need. Just what we need. Plenty of good land in nice neighborhoods. Land that is currently being wasted on a meaningless, mindless activity engaged in primarily by white, well-to-do male businessmen who use the game to get together to make deals to carve this country up a little finer among themselves. I am getting tired, really getting tired of these golfing cocksuckers in their green pants and their yellow pants and their orange pants and their precious little hats and their cute little golf carts. It is time to reclaim the golf courses from the wealthy and turn them over to the homeless. Golf is an arrogant, elitist game, and it takes up entirely too much room in this country. Too much room in this country. It is an arrogant game on its very design alone. Just the design of the game speaks of arrogance. Think of how big a golf course is. The ball is that fucking big. What do these pin-headed pricks need with all that land? There are over 17,000 golf courses in America. They average over 150 acres apiece. That's 3 million plus acres. 4,820 square miles. You could build 2 Rhode Islands and a Delaware for the homeless. On the land currently being wasted on this meaningless, mindless, arrogant, elitist, racist, there's another thing. The only blacks you'll find in country clubs are carrying trays, and a boring game. Boring game for boring people. You ever watch golf on television? It's like watching flies fuck. And a mindless game, mindless. Think of the intellect it must take to draw pleasure from this activity. Hitting a ball with a crooked stick, and then walking after it. And then hitting it again. I say, pick it up, asshole. You're lucky you found the fucking thing. Put it in your pocket and go the fuck home. You're a winner. You're a winner. You found it. No. Never happened. No chance of that happening. Dorco in the plaid knickers is going to hit it again and walk some more. Let these rich cocksuckers play miniature golf. Let them fuck with a windmill for an hour and a half or so. See if there's really any skill among these people. Now, I know there are some people who play golf who don't consider themselves rich. Fuck them! And shame on them for engaging in an arrogant, elitist pastime. Hey, here's another place we could put some low-cost housing. Cemeteries. There's another idea whose time has passed. Saving all the dead people for one part of town? What the hell kind of a medieval, superstitious, religious bullshit idea is that? Plow these motherfuckers up, plow them into the streams and rivers of America. We need that phosphorus for farming. If we're going to recycle, let's get serious.
That is something though. Like, why the fuck do we still have cemeteries, yo? Yo, Skynet.
Know what makes retirement less scary? Getting a check every month.
I've been here for 3 hours. Let me get my ass off. I'm just trying to get a little more lines on this. Oh, y'all can't even see what I'm doing. My bad, yo. Oh shit. Just trying to shape her face out a little bit right now. It's a racist, elitist sport. Pick it up, put it in your pocket, motherfucker. You should be happy you found the goddamn thing. No, he's gonna hit it again and walk after it some more. Who the fuck need all this land? Look how big the ball is. Look how big the golf ball is compared to the size of the golf course. What the fuck are you guys doing?
It's kind of a motif for me, complaining. And of course, this weird culture we live in leaves you no shortage of things to complain about. So this next piece of material, like most good ideas, is fairly simple. It's just a list of people who ought to be killed.
George, are you sure you want to say this? You goddamn right I'm gonna say it. Hey, George Carlin ain't give a fuck, yo.
These people who read self-help books. Why do so many people need help? Life is not that complicated. You get up, you go to work, you eat 3 meals, you take 1 good shit, and you go back to bed. What's the fucking mystery?
What's the fucking
And
mystery?
the part I really don't understand, if you're looking for self-help, why would you read a book written by somebody else?
Dumbass.
That's not self-help. That's help. There's no such thing as self-help. If you did it yourself, you didn't need help. You did it yourself. Try to pay attention to the language we've all agreed on. And a similar mystery to me. Motivation books, motivation seminars. Why would anyone need to be motivated by someone else? I say if you lack motivation, a seminar isn't going to help you. What you really need is to be smashed in the head 30 or 40 times with a golf club. That'll fucking motivate you. Or else it'll at least get you up and moving around the room. You know, rotate your socks, shit like that. Get the day rolling. Motivation is bullshit. If you ask me, this country could use a little less motivation. The people who are motivated are the ones who are causing all the trouble. Stock swindlers, serial killers, child molesters, Christian conservatives. These people are highly motivated. Highly motivated.
Damn. Christian conservatives? Highly motivated.
And anyway, I think motivation is overrated. You show me some lazy prick who's lying around all day watching game shows and stroking his penis, and I'll show you someone who's not causing any fucking trouble, okay? All right. Here's another pack of low-grade morons who ought to be locked into portable toilets and set on fire. These people with bumper stickers that say, "We are the proud parents of an honor student at the Franklin School." You know? Or the Midvale Academy, or whatever other innocent-sounding name has been assigned to the indoctrination center, where their child has been sent to be stripped of his individuality and turned into an obedient, soul-dead, conformist member of the American consumer culture.
Tell it like it is, George. They don't want to hear it, though.
Parents, what kind of empty people need to validate themselves through the achievements of their children?
Tell it like it is,
I'd
George.
like to have to live with a couple of these misfits. How's that science project coming along, Justin? Fuck you, Dad. You simple-minded prick. Mind your own business and pass the Cheerios. Here's a bumper sticker I'd like to see. We are the proud parents of a child whose self-esteem is sufficient that he doesn't need us promoting his minor scholastic achievements on the back of our car. That was pretty good. Or, we are the proud parents of a child who has resisted his teacher's attempts to break his spirit and bend him to the will of his corporate masters. Just be nice little for change, you know? Here's something realistic. We have a daughter in public school who hasn't been knocked up yet.
Damn. Damn.
We
Tell
have
it
a
like it
son
is,
in public
George.
school who hasn't shot any of his classmates yet. But he does sell drugs to your honor student. Plus, he knocked up your daughter. Then there are the people who aren't too proud of their children. We are the embarrassed parents of a cross-eyed little nitwit who at the age of 10 not only continues to wet the bed, but also shits on the school bus. Something like that on the back of the car might give the child a little more incentive, you know? Get him to try a little harder next semester. Here are some more parents who ought to be beaten with heavy clubs and left bleeding in the moonlight. These are the ones who carry their babies around in these backpacks or front packs or slings, or whatever these devices are called, that are apparently designed to leave the parents' hands free to sort through high-end merchandise and reach for their platinum credit cards. Because it's always these upscale, yuppie-looking Greenpeace, environmentally conscious assholes who have mine, you know? I say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Natural Fibers. I say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Natural Fibers. It's not camping equipment, it's a baby. Touch the little prick now and then. He'll thank you for it someday. These are the same people who sort their garbage, jog with their dogs, and listen to Steely Dan. You know? You just like to take them out deep into the forest and disembowel them with a wooden cooking spoon.
What the fuck?
There are Small people ought to be smashed across the face repeatedly with a piece of heavy mining equipment. These grown men who refer to their fathers as my daddy. You know? Yeah. Gee, you hear a lot of this stupid shit in the South. These rebel assholes, you know. My daddy, yeah, my daddy. Well, you know what my daddy used to say? My daddy used to say, blah, 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 blah. Oh, he did? Did he? Well, wasn't that fucking enlightening? My daddy used to say, fuck
Lucky.
your daddy.
Where was that? Where was that coming from? What up? What up, Skynet?
Rural country asshole. Grow up, Billy.
And yeah, I sell. I guess you would say I sell online. You can look at my stuff online, and I'll sell it to you. If that's what you mean. Why, you want something? You want something done? I know. I'll paint you a picture, man. The seed of Cain, then Ham. So did Seth have any kids, yo? Or did Adam and Eve have more kids, yo? Because soon as Cain was banished, he was banished to the land of the refugees. So who the fuck is all these refugees? Where in the fuck is this whole other people come from? They got language and everybody's communicating, man. Everybody can communicate back then. That's something else you gotta think about to start with. What language was this? God was talking to Adam and Adam and Eve was talking to each other, and Eve even talked to a serpent. So what language was that? And then Cain and Abel conversed amongst each other, but then when Cain went away, he had to go to this land of the refugees. What the fuck language was they speaking? And then how would they even know him or recognize him? What kind of damn news or telegraph or communication system was in effect? That's some crazy shit. Okay. And then if we come from Ham, one of Noah's sons, so this whole time, right, there was a selective breeding. And then now when the angels came down, hold up now. When the angels came down and started fucking all the damn women, right? Cause this is in the Bible, man. This is true, right? So the Nephilim came down, right? And they said, ooh, the daughter of man are beautiful. We shall take all who we please. And they knew the daughter of men, and they created the ones of old, the men of fame, the giants. They did what? What the fuck? Let me read this shit again. They made some demigods. They talk about Hercules and motherfuckers like that, like the son of Zeus and all kind of shit like this. Wait a minute now. And then God said, whoa. Look, y'all fucking up, man. I ain't want my damn human creations to be all mixed with y'all shit, man. Y'all done fucked up my whole goddamn plan. Now y'all got them acting crazy and shit, man. You see what's going on? I got a motherfucking... They trying to build a tower to get all the way up here where we at. You know what I'm saying? This shit, you corrupted my program. I'm gonna wipe this shit from the face of the earth. But, look, Noah, you cool. I like you. You can tell whoever you want, man, what I'm about to do, man. But look, I'm gonna give you some instructions, right? You're gonna build this boat. Put every animal on it. Put 2 of every animal on the boat with you, right? Because we're going to make it rain. Okay, they survive all that shit, man. And then the rains go away. And they send a dove out. And the dove come back with an olive branch. And they get on the land, you know what I'm saying? Then it's only Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and one of his sons had a wife. And they kid. And now, so Noah, he all depressed and shit, man, because, you know, Tubal-Cain and everybody dead, man, and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So he drunk off the wine, and then the son come in there and lift up his cloak and shit, and now he get banished. And so, what race was these people? How do you get all the races from one family like that? And then, wait, where the fuck did he go? Wait, how they start back over? If everybody was gone, if everybody dead, then how they started back over, man? I don't understand these things, man. Man, yeah, because Enoch, the only person who didn't die, man. You know what I'm saying? He walked with God. God gave him all the mathematics and shit, man. I got the book of Enoch. I got the book of Enoch somewhere down there. Yeah, and then you ever read the books called Apocrypha in the Bible? I got a Bible from 1880 something, man. That shit got a whole different section in that shit. Yo, it got the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the books called Apocrypha. I ain't never seen that shit nowhere else. Man, when I was reading the Bible and studying the Bible, I had a concordance, and so there are certain words, you know what I'm saying. And the Bible I'm talking about now, it has a concordance in it where you can go back to the original Hebrew translation, and yeah, sometimes it don't say the same thing. Like Lot's wife wasn't turned into a pillar of salt. If you go back to the original translation, it would translate more to like mist or vapor or like steam or something like that, and not salt, or like a pillar of salt. So, but that changes the whole scene, the whole scenario, just one word, you know, if you understand the true Hebrew translation. But still, man, the Bible is just not, I don't know, bruh. I really don't believe the lineage in the Bible, the lineage that they put forth. So, and is the Bible even really relevant today? Yeah, that's crazy, yo. Cause he didn't want to skeet up in his brother's wife. So, and that's something else. That's like the breeding program I keep saying. Like, God to tell people, like, look, okay, ever since the descendants of Noah, man, he took motherfucking Abraham and all them. Is like, look, man, you get your wives from this village, from these people for your sons, and y'all mate and do this. And he kept following like one family, one lineage, all the way to fucking Moses. You know what I'm saying? It was the same bloodline of who's gonna get the blessing. And motherfucking Esau, and what his brother name was, and them motherfuckers fighting over the blessing, to get the blessing from God. And shit is like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is this God shit? And God be walking around talking to people in the flesh and shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit, I don't know, man. Oh, well, since your brother died, now you gotta take his wife, and you must make a kid with her. And the dude was like, I don't know about that shit, God. I don't really want to fuck my damn brother's wife. I say, I command you. And dude was like, all right, God, all right, you want me to fuck my brother's wife? And then that shit got to him. He was like, damn, I ain't gonna bust in her though. He pull out. and shoot his shit on the ground. The guy said, I smite thee. It fucking killed that motherfucker, yo. Yo, he killed that motherfucker for busting the load on the ground, yo. I swear to God. Oh, my bad, guy. The blasphemy. Yo, but Genesis, I love like the first couple of books of the Bible, yo. They're so fucking weird. All the little stories that go on in there, it's like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you because you came on the ground. And then what's the other story when the dude got in a fight with the angel and shit? Him and the angel out there in the field wrestling and shit. Yo, he wound up beating the angel up, but the angel fucked his ass up real bad in the hip. So he did something to his hip or some shit. He must have body slammed him on his hip. That the dude is like, that's the reason when we eat meat, we don't eat the tendons and shit. Oh man. And then the one angel was coming to kill the lady's son. I forgot who fucking wife that was. But she had to escape with her son, right? And the angel was coming to assassinate his ass. And so he was right there up on him. And she said, wait a minute. And so she pulled her son's penis, right? And chopped off the foreskin and threw it at his foot. And a little bit of blood got on the angel's foot. He's like, you can't kill my son now because you guys are blood brothers. And the angel was like, you got me. Oh my God. Yo, God, yeah, the old guy, oh my, yo, God in the Old Testament was vicious, yo. I'm telling you, that dude was ruthless. The motherfucker said, look, yo, y'all gonna follow me in the daytime by a pillar of clouds, and in the nighttime by a pillar of fire. I'm gonna take y'all to the land of milk and honey. I want y'all to kill all these motherfuckers. Well, God, ain't these your people? You made these people too, right? How you gonna tell there's one group of people that go murder, assassinate, kill all these other people, man, women, child, infant, camel, goat? I ain't want nothing breathing. Nothing. They come back with some camels and some chickens and shit. Like, motherfucker, what's that? What you mean? I told y'all to kill everything. Man, these camels, man, the animals too. Man, we can use these camels. I can eat these chickens. Motherfucker, I said kill everything and kill his ass. I said kill everything. God damn it. Yeah, old school, Old Testament guy was goddamn ferocious. I will smite you, motherfucker. You say what now? Boy, I'm a burning bush. I'll burn the bush, boy. I think we're all God, man. I'm God, you God. We're God. This piece of paper is God. This mechanical pencil is fucking God, yo. Everything. All the energy, everything we can see is God, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's an expression of an idea. I can physically hold this and I'm touching this and I can use it, but this is an idea. This is a physical expression of an idea that was a concept from someone's consciousness. Consciousness is God. So this is a representation of the God being. And we all are a representation of God, you know. We are God experiencing life. And that's the purpose of it. We're just supposed to experience as much as we can until our vessel is no longer to contain our spark, and then we go back to the infinite consciousness and it absorbs all of our experiences and we grow that way, you know. So this God of the Bible, you know, it's too limited. It's in a book. That's what the Indians said when the white man tried to give them the Bible. What the fuck is that? It's a book. What the fuck you want me to do with it? It's a book about our God. It tells you about our God. Our God is in this book. Your God is in that book? Yeah. Like, that's a little ass God. If your God can fit in that book, I ain't want to fuck with no God like that. My God can't fit in no book. My God is everything I see. Everything I know is my God, and it won't go in a little book like that. So you can keep that book. You know? And so that's the conclusions that I have come to, that settle well with me, that make me feel encouraged and empowered, that there are a lot of little barriers to get over, but in the end, we are all a consciousness. When you say I say the same thing to myself. I am I, and you are I, and we are both I. We're all the same thing, you know? I am on stage, right? I'm on your TV right now. Come on, man. I don't know why people don't realize I'm already on your TV. Everybody needs to subscribe to the channel too, because I'm about to hit my mark, yo. Somebody's gonna get that free drawing. Oh man, it's 5 o'clock. Yo, I've been up for a while, yo. I'm gonna take me a good ass nap. Alright, I'll probably give you guys like another 10 minutes maybe, and I'm gonna get off for a while. I've been in here almost 4 hours already, and it's early in the morning. What you guys doing up so early anyway? Why is y'all up so early? What the hell is wrong with y'all?
Know what makes retirement less scary? Getting a check every month. With an income annuity from New York Life, you pay some money up front and then get checks for the rest of your life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 checks. Be good at life, New York Life.
In the Western world, I suppose we have two dominant ideas about what happens to us when we die. There's the old-fashioned idea that after we die, we go to another world. I say old-fashioned, not to say it's out of date. We don't know what the answer to this is. But that's the traditional answer of the Western world. When you die, you go to another life. Maybe heaven, maybe purgatory, maybe hell, who knows? I think nowadays, though, the more general idea, the more plausible idea to many people is that when we die, we just cease to be. That's all there is to it. But we're inclined, I think, to have in our minds a picture of this, which indeed is depressing, of being shut up in the dark for always and always and always. To be kind of buried alive in a blackness where we are blind, deaf and dumb, but somehow still conscious. But in the Eastern world, there are different ideas of this. Think of it in this way. Supposing I make two statements. Statement one. After I die, I shall be reborn again as a baby. But I shall forget my former life. Statement two. After I die, a baby will be born. Now, I believe that those two statements are saying exactly the same thing. Death is not the end of consciousness. If we think of death as endless darkness, endless nothingness is not only inconceivable, but it's logically absolutely meaningless. Because we aren't able to have any idea, much less sensation of nothing, unless it can be compared with a sensation of something. And therefore, I think what is meant is that the vacuum created by the disappearance of a being, by the disappearance of his memory system, is simply filled by another being who is I, just as you feel you're I. about being I is that you can only experience this I sensation in the singular. You can't experience being 2 or 3 I's all at the same time. Now then, it seems to me that this idea has very important consequences. One is that the disappearance of our memories in death is not really something to be regretted. Of course, everybody wishes to hold forever to the memories and to the people and the situations that he particularly loves. But surely, if we think this through, is that what we actually want? Do we really want to have those we love, however greatly we love them, for always and always and always and always? Isn't it inconceivable that even in a very distant future, we wouldn't get tired of it? And this indeed is the secret of the thing. This is why the demon of impermanence is beneficent. Because it is forgetting about things that renews their wonder.
All right, Orlando.
Just think, when you opened your eyes on the world for the first time as a child, how brilliant colors were. What a jewel the sun was. What marvels the stars. How incredibly alive the trees were. That's all because they were new to your eyes. Or in the same way, you know how it is, you've been reading a mystery story. And you're looking around the house, want something to read, you pick up an old mystery story. If you read it years and years ago and you've forgotten all about the plot, it still excites you. But if you remember the plot, it doesn't excite you. And so, by the dispensation of forgetting, the world is constantly renewed. And we are able to see it again and again, and to love again and again, to have people to whom we are deeply attached and deeply fond, always with renewed intensity, and without the contrast of having seen them before, always and always and always. Another consequence of this is a very curious realization to me. Who would I be if my mother had married someone else? These are the kind of questions that make us puzzle profoundly about our existence. I might so easily have been born in China and India. Why do I feel that the world is centered in this place, as distinct from some other place? In other words, you jolly well know the world is centered where you are. there is consciousness anywhere, that is I. You then, in a way, look out through all eyes. And that, perhaps, is the secret of the great virtue of compassion.
When your own inner sense of identity changes from being the separate individual to being what the entire cosmos is doing at this place, you become not a puppet, but more truly and more expressively an individual than ever. Well, now do you see the point? That everybody, if we transfer this to the dimension of spirituality, where the highest ideal is to be unselfish, to let go of oneself, when you are trying to be unselfish, you're doing it for a selfish reason. You can't be unselfish by a decision of the will any more than you can decide not to think of a green elephant. There is a story about Confucius, who one day met Lao Tzu, who was a great Chinese philosopher. And Lao Tzu said, "Sir, what is your system? And Confucius said, it is charity and love of one's neighbor and elimination of self-interest. Lao Tzu said, stuff and nonsense. Your elimination of self is a positive manifestation of self. Look at the universe. The stars keep their order. The trees and plants grow upwards without exception. The waters flow. Be like this. All your nonsense about elimination of self is like beating a drum in search of a fugitive.
I think I'm gonna take a break from right there, yo. I've been here like 4 hours. You can believe what
When
you
the
want to
police
believe,
arrive
man.
on the first floor, the thieves have gone up to the second. And so to the third, and finally out to the roof. And so when the ego is about to be unmasked, it immediately identifies with the higher self.
It goes up a level.
It goes up a level.
Portugal in here. Yeah, I've been up for a minute, yo. I'm about to go to sleep.
I had a friend who was studying Zen in Japan, and he got pretty desperate to produce the answer of who he really is. And on his way to an interview with the master to give an answer to the problem, he noticed a very common sight in Japan, a big bullfrog sitting around in the garden. And he swooped this bullfrog up in his hand and dropped it in the sleeve of his kimono. And then he went into the master, and to give the answer of who he was, he suddenly produced the bullfrog. And the master said, too intellectual. In other words, this answer is too contrived. It's too much like Zen.
Yeah. All right,
You've been reading too many books. It's not.
All right, everybody better subscribe to the channel. Whoever is number 500 is going to get a drawing, a portrait drawing, kind of like what I'm doing now, of themselves as a free gift for supporting my channel. I'm really close. I thought it'd take like another 2 days, but how people been joining today, like in the past couple of days, I'll be at that point sometime today, yo. So you don't know. I'm not telling. I took it down so you can't see, like so you can't see how many subscribers I have right now, but it's really close, yo. Like, I'm so excited. So I'm working on this drawing. So this is a little paid commission. I figured I can do this in a few hours, and it's looking pretty good so far. Just got to do a little bit more shading around her eyes and cheeks and stuff, and fill her hair in a little bit. And then I probably can mail this off later today or tomorrow, depending on how things go. You know, it's early in the day right now, so if I can get it finished in like a few more hours, maybe, and then put it in the mail, I'll send it out today. That's the easiest things about drawings, is I can send them out as soon as they're done. Like paintings, you have to wait for them to dry, and it takes days or weeks sometimes for them to dry. So yeah, whoever is number 500 will be awarded with a portrait in my sketchbook, and I will send it to you. So you have a original Travis Prentice drawing. I'll show you some other portrait sketches that I've done. That's one I never finished. I do that a lot. Start them and won't finish them. So if you want one of these, definitely subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell so you can get notifications. That was a good one. I started that one, but since I'm getting paid for this one, I have to work on this one right now. All right. And I will definitely announce the lucky winner of the contest, and probably post it on like Instagram or something. Yeah, that George Carlin was that George Carlin is crazy, yo. Alright guys, look man, I appreciate everybody stopping by, hanging out with me, checking out my art, checking out the projects. I met a lot of cool people tonight, had some really good debates, and we had some good laughs. Well, this morning actually, not tonight, but and I got a good bit done on this commission drawing that I'm working on right now, so that's awesome. And my subscribers, man, are growing. This is crazy, yo. It's going way faster than I thought it would. But anyway, just like I say, stay on the lookout. I'm in here all the time, always working on new projects and hanging out, listening to music and good stuff like that. So stay tuned, man. Peace. Until next time.